Hello, Africa. Welcome to Bitesize Democracy, a weekly show focusing on issues around democracy on the African continent. Our show gives you a snapshot of what's happening in Africa in fun, informative bite-sized segments. Please do follow us on Twitter on @Afrique_democratic, and our hashtag is #BSDemocracy. Do join in the conversation. Please also like our Facebook page, African Democratic Institute. On today's show, we have Betham Chade from Rays of Hope. Our show is in line with the International Day of the Girl Child, which was commemorated on the 11th of October as pronounced by the United Nations. Bertha, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ottilia.
Can you let us know, please give us more information, what is Rays of Hope about?
Rays of Hope is a non-profit organization that was started about 24 years ago with one project in the community of Alexandra. We are a community outreach of the Rosebank Union Church, situated at the corner of William Nicol and St. Andrews Drive in Hurlingham. So we started out with one project called Rosect, which is a Saturday school that caters for children in Alexandra schools, helping them with their maths, English, life skills, games, encouraging learning in a fun way. Rosect, from one project, which is Rosect, today we've got 9 projects in Alexandra. And our 9 projects, we've got the family-based care, which used to be the child care project. It's one and the same thing. And in this project, we've got 3 programs. We've got the family foster home, and we've got the orphans and vulnerable children in the community, and we've got the homework club, an afternoon schools program that happens Monday through to Thursday from 3 o'clock to 4:30. We've got Africa Works, which is a skills development program which helps train and impart skills to women and young men in Alex. To date, we've got a bag making project, crocheting project. We had motor mechanics, carpentry, welding. We've had about 400 women pass through the bag making project, and most of them today, because of the confidence they have gained from the training and the mentoring, they have gotten on to get jobs and they are working. But the bag making project is still going on. We've got ECD, that is early childhood development, which is basically imparting the basic foundation of education in children. So creche teachers, creche owners are trained and given the knowledge and the skills to teach the early childhood development in Alexandra. We've got Knox, Knox Brothers. This is a mentoring project for young men and women that have finished school and are looking for work. So what happens, they meet every Saturday and they get mentored, they get skills on how to behave in interviews, how to keep a job, how to do your finances, budgeting and everything. So it's really a great project that is helping young men and women in Alex.
Absolutely amazing, Bertha. And I just wanted to find out, what is the reasoning behind having your base or most of your projects in Alex?
Our head office and the church that we are under, Rosebank Union Church, is in Santon, and Alexandra is our neighbor. Okay. So that was the reason. Love thy neighbor as you love thyself. Absolutely. So that's why we did our outreach in Alexandra.
Yes. You've mentioned quite a lot of projects, but there's one really interesting one, the Girl Support Group. Can you tell us more about that?
The Girl Support Group is a project that is under the child care projects. So most of these girls are vulnerable, orphaned, and have been in some way abused. So they come from families that are on the program. And of late, we've extended it to their friends and even in schools to those that are vulnerable. So we have about 20 girls on the support group, and we meet them every Wednesday. The reason why we started the Girl Support Group is there was so much need for the mentoring and guidance and help for young women. And given the rate of teenage pregnancy, and some of it is not of their own doing, but through rape or being abused, we felt as a project, after starting the Child-Headed Households project back then, which we have now changed to the child care project because we are incorporating even orphaned and vulnerable children, not only child-headed. And we felt, the girl child needed a lot of emotional help, needed a lot of guidance. So that's why we started the group, and it has been going on for the past, I think, about 6 years now. That's how long it's been going on.
Okay. When you say vulnerable girls, what kind of girls are you speaking about?
Vulnerable, when somebody is vulnerable, it's like a broad term. There are so many, different aspects that are put into consideration. For example, if a young girl has been raped, physically and emotionally abused, has been neglected, rejected, abandoned, they are vulnerable. If a young girl is an orphan living with an aunt or a grandmother who is very sick and is maybe not working, or cannot be able to take care of this child is vulnerable. If a young girl is living in a family situation where there is domestic violence, where there is family disunity, there is no family cohesion, that child is also vulnerable. So that's how we select the girls or the children that come onto our program. We look at all those things. Is the child vulnerable? Is the parent sick and not able to take care of the child? That makes the child vulnerable. Has there been a history of abuse, rape, domestic violence, death, or pain, trauma in the child's life? That makes them vulnerable.
Okay, if there's a vulnerable girl who's watching out there, how does she get in touch with you?
We meet every Wednesday in Alexandra at the corner of 8th Avenue and Roosevelt. It's called the Scripture Union Center. Or they can call us, or even come to our center in Marlborough Gardens, Ikalo Musa at number 1 and 2 Lupin Street. They are welcome to come and talk to us, and we will be able to help them.
Okay, and then I just want to ask you personally, how did you get involved in this project? What made you want to be a part of this great project?
Well, I started, from I'm a high school teacher by profession. So when I was working back in Zimbabwe, we worked with young girls under the project, the Girl Child Network. So when I came to South Africa and found a job as a teacher in South Africa, I just started reaching out to so many young girls in Soweto. And when I left teaching and I joined Rays of Hope, I just felt it was just natural for me to just also start with the girl support group. And it's been a long journey of pain and trauma for me as well, which has made me want so much to reach out to the girl child so that they do not go through or make the mistakes that I have made in my life as well.
It's an absolutely amazing story, and I'm sure the organization depends on donations and volunteers. If somebody wanted to donate either their time or money or clothes or food, how does that process work?
We've got a website, the Rays of Hope website. If people go on there, or even when they like our Facebook page, there are opportunities there. You get a volunteer application form where you apply, you go through the process of being directed to the right project, or even just making a phone call to Rays of Hope and saying, I want to offer my time or my services, or, you've got clothes, you've got food that you want to donate. And we really depend on volunteers, and we need more volunteers. So the more people we get to volunteer for the girls support group, the more people we get to volunteer for the afternoon schools program, because we are doing one-on-one reading with the children, mostly the primary school kids, because you find a child is in grade 4 but they cannot recognize basic letters, they cannot read, they cannot do basic maths. So we need volunteers to help with that as well. So a phone call to Rays of Hope, or going on to the Rays of Hope website, filling in the volunteer application form, and then they will be contacted.
We can't stress enough, please do get in touch with Rays of Hope if you have anything that you can help with, either your time, food, or money. One of our great leaders said a society will be judged on the basis of how they treat the vulnerable and women. So this is an organization that's doing great things for the girl child, so please do assist them. And to all the girl children in the world, we support you, we salute you, and we see you. Thank you so much for watching Africa.